Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, on Scrap Mechanic Tutorials, I'm going to be showing you how to use the pistons. So, here's what the piston will look like. Well, actually, let me get blocked a little bit. So, this is a piston. Under its description, it extends and contracts. You can find it here. Scroll down a little bit. There it is. Now, how do you use a piston? Well, first, there has to be something on the piston, like this block. Then, we gotta have something to activate it. A button or a switch. That's not very good, right? Well, not to worry, you can extend the range. Bit too slow? Don't worry, you can increase that. You can also use switches instead of buttons. Or you could use sensors. Oh, we could use sensors. Now, what could you use a piston for? Well, there's many things you could use a piston for. Like in the first example, you could move things. So you could make an elevator. Bam. For a more complex elevator, that takes a lot more like work and stuff. Another thing you could use it for is a pusher. So let's make a wall. And I'm going to use a sensor. Now, I guess this is also going to be this is going to be a piston and sensor tutorial. So let's put that up to maximum. But we're going to move that so it doesn't get detected. Make it that. And then, so, look at that. So let's say there's, I don't know, a very valuable resource behind here that a bot wants their hands on. Well, if we go right here, boom, you get pushed. Now, another thing we'd use pistons for is a similar thing, a crusher. Pistons will move basically about anything, right? So, what else could we use pistons for? What else could you use a piston for? I mean, they move things, but I think the bulk of this episode is going to be about the sensor. Oh, right. You can also use controllers. Another way you can use a piston is using a controller. If you use multiple pistons, you can, here, you hook them up and they're kind of like bearings. You can set a starting angle, but the way to program it is, well, I mean, put in a switch, and you can do this. Like, you can tell it to go up 3 blocks. You can tell it to go up for three blocks, and then come back. Or then you can tell it to like move out 1, move out 2, move out 3. To program bearings or pistons. To program pistons, you basically just drag your mouse. So here's how it looks. Now, and this will repeat. Now also in controllers, if you press this loop button, as long as this connection is on, it will just keep going like this until either I leave the world or I turn the switch off. Because when you leave a world, it turns off all switches. Now, another thing you can use controller. Okay, so this whole episode's gonna be about pistons, sensors, and controls. Another thing you can use one of these guys for is a controller for is to angle blocks. You can also program blocks to. You can also program blocks. Now, how can we use pistons and program? Well, I have an example. Yeah, here we go. Here's an example of how you could use pistons. This does look complicated, but really it's not that complicated. All you're doing is basically that first example with the controller. See, if I press this, look, it walks. And that's just to turn it, but the whole point of me showing you this is that controllers, instead of using manual button presses, you can use them instead to move a vehicle. Now, another way you could use... Now, a way you could use sensors is with, like, a balance feature. Here, I'm gonna make a two-wheeled vehicle, right? So I'm gonna need bearings, some wheels, right? We make it 3 blocks wide, so the wheels are in the middle. So I'm basically making a motorcycle, right? There we go. Motorcycle almost done. But the problem is, it falls over very easily. So a way we could fix that is by combining our controller, our sensors, and our piston. So a way we could do this is first, we need a we need a sensor to angle at the ground, and first we need a sensor to angle at the ground. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want a sensor on a bearing. Remember to put this on a bearing. Now, I'm not exactly showing you how to build this, I'm just showing you what you could do with this. It's not like an exact tutorial like the car one. This is simply just to give you ideas. So first we're going to take this off the lift, and then we're going to make it so that we can angle them. See, that one activated. So we put it back on there. And at the text, there, like there, we want it to... I'm not too sure how to use pistons. I have an idea. Put a piston here with a block. So, when it falls over this way, it will auto-correct itself, but we want it so that I can... Now I just gotta copy that on this side. Now, one problem with this system is that it will probably make an auto feedback loop. I'm not sure we want, but whatever. So now, it kind of stays upright, which is good. There's a much better way to do this, but this is... So anyways, look, now your motorcycle can go off and show your line, and then when it kind of falls over, it can auto-correct itself. And there you go, I showed you how to use all of the things. So I guess in this kind of tutorial that I kind of made, I'm showing you how to use the sensor, the piston, and the controller. And here's an example of that. All these blocks are being used. Subscribe and like if you want. I'm gonna probably record another video today, so goodbye, like and subscribe, blah blah blah, all that crap. If you enjoyed, goodbye.